Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mark Akins, Mr. Challenge Your Perception, and I'm here again with another episode of A Little Something for Your Sundays, brought to you by Gratifying Expressions. Here at Gratifying Expressions, we believe that you have a right to express yourself. Just do it in a way that others will be grateful that you did. Today is another one of your luckiest days because we're going to go over one of my famous quotes. Did you guess that? Could you believe we're going to do a quote today? Well, here it is. The quote today is: "The sour moments make for sweet blessings." Isn't that interesting?
What do I mean by that?
What do I mean by the sour moments make for sweet blessings? Well, have you ever heard that when life hands you lemons, make lemonade? Lemons are sour, bitter. Everybody knows that. Well, everybody who's had one before knows that. So I'm assuming that you've had a lemon before. But we know how sweet and refreshing lemonade can be. Maybe even it's looked at as a blessing, depending on how thirsty you may have been. Now, we all know that a bad moment shouldn't lead to a bad day. So, how do you find a way to leverage those sour moments, those less desirable moments? How do you turn that into a sweet blessing? How do you identify that as a sweet blessing? Because the blessing was already there, right? Think of Sour Patch Kids. It's candy, and everyone loves a sweet candy, but first it's sour, then it's sweet. That's when you get to enjoy it. You're probably not going to really chew it up and swallow it until it hits the sweet phase. So, endurance is one of the greatest ways to turn a sour moment into a sweet blessing. But we're going to go over two different types of instances where we are going to have to realize the sweet blessing within the sour moment. And I'm going to do my best to help you with that. Losing relationships. Well, that can make for a sour moment. And the reason I say losing relationships is because we're not going to particularly talk about a intimate relationship between two partners. This could be friendship. This could be a relationship with your neighbor. This could be a relationship with your parents or your family members. So, relationship is a very wide variety of things depending on how you look at it. So, losing a relationship is a sour moment, even if it's your choice to get rid of that relationship. There had to be a sour thought, a sour moment, a sour instance to take you from being in this type of relationship that you were accepting of to deciding that it's no longer acceptable and it's no longer comfortable and beneficial for you. And if it's not you who made this decision, it's ultimately a more sour moment when someone's deciding to end any type of relationship that you're not ready for it to have been ended. Okay? So, how do you take a situation like losing relationships and make it into a sweet moment? I say first, step back. Okay? You want to step back and look at the situation. You have to realize that once someone is out of your life, they're out of your life for a reason. So when they're in your life, they're in your life for a reason. If they're out of your life, they're out of your life for a reason. So if you are deciding to get this person out of your life, or if they are trying to get out of your life, then first of all, realize that that situation has arisen. You would not have woken up and decided to get somebody out of your life that you wanted to keep. So the fact that you've hit that crossroad, you have to step back and look at that. Then once you look at that, you have to figure out why. How did you get there? It's the same thing where if they decided it was time to leave your life, by separating themselves, they might call it getting you out of their lives. But if they get you out of their lives, ultimately, they're leaving your life, right? So they're also getting out of your life. So in that instant, think about how that could have happened. If you can't get an immediate answer from that person, that's totally fine, because you only have to live life through your lens and your perception. So think of some ways why that might have happened or how that might have happened. And then once you realize that there are reasons, even if there's just one, even if there's just one, do you need more than one reason to love someone? Do you need more than one reason to be somebody's friend? Do you need more than one reason to give or take what you want from any situation? Once you realize that there's a reason, I feel that at that point, you should make peace with it. Because whenever you get something out of any environment, whether it be moving your couch out of your living room, moving your car out of your garage, or displacing a person out of your circle, there's now room. And if this person had to be removed for any reason, there's room for something better. And even if you don't replace this person in this instance with someone else, now you have space. Now you got space, and there's nothing wrong with space, especially if you need it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mark Akins, Mr. Challenge Your Perception. I'm here today to talk to you all about two books that I have put together. My latest creation, 111 Quotes to Challenge Your Perception. It's going to be available on Amazon.com. And while you're on there, you might want to also take a look at Challenge Your Perception of Cold Calling, one of my famous books here. And if you're going to get into sales, or if you know someone who's in sales, or if you have someone whose success is being held ransom by anxiety, this is the book for you. Ladies and gentlemen, these are available on Amazon.com. Again, my name is Mark Akins, Mr. Challenge Your Perception, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Whoa.
That was some good stuff, Mark. I know. So let's go on to the second situation. And we've all encountered both of these. So hopefully some of this challenges your perception the next time you're in one, or when you reflect on when you were in one of these scenarios. Losing a job. Losing a job. What a bummer. That's a tough situation to deal with. Talk about a sour moment. Talk about a sour moment. You might make a sour face at that one.
What? Me?
At the end of the day, this is what I told a friend of mine when he lost a job. He actually walked off the job. Most of you do. And your excuse is you felt disrespected. Go ahead and snap your fingers twice if that happened to you once before. I know it did. So a friend of mine, he says, I'm no longer working at XYZ company. I says, why? Why are you no longer working there? Did you find something better, more lucrative perhaps? No. I didn't find anything, and I wasn't leaving for another job. I left because I was disrespected. I'm flabbergasted. And I asked him, why do you think? This is what I asked him. Why do you think that you were disrespected? I don't jump straight to you were disrespected. I want to know why you thought you were disrespected. This is just who I am. Challenge your perception. He tells me that this other individual was talking to him as if he was a child. I really don't know what that means. I know how we could all take it if someone was possibly talking to us as if we can't comprehend what they were saying. Maybe that's what he meant. But without me being in that situation and without me having his eyes and perception, I'd never be able to see it the way he's seen it. But now we're getting somewhere. So then I asked him to challenge his perception. You see, this friend of mine was working at a fast food restaurant. One in particular that I know usually hires teenage kids, right? Teenagers to work the afternoon and evening shifts. A lot of times at these fast food establishments, you see the older people who've come out of retirement working the early morning shift. So I'm thinking to myself, I say, hey, friend, have you ever thought for 1 second that maybe he's just so used to managing people who are a little younger than you that he didn't think twice about the way he should have approached you? Do you ever think that was it? And my friend didn't think that that was a possible thing that could have happened. There was no way to get him to see it a different way. I was trying my best to find out if there was any way in the world that he could understand that this other person was flawed and that they may not have took a deep breath and said, let me go talk to this man like he's a child. I'm sure he didn't plan that. And so I left him with this. And you take this and use it or think about it in any type of way. I told him, you are an intelligent individual. You tell me all the time about the great work you do, how hard of a worker you are. You have good conversation. Perhaps you've displayed your best talents, but yet you're working here at this point in your life. What if this person respected you so much that they had to come at you wrong in order for you to get so frustrated that you get out of here so that you could spread your wings? Now, what if that was the situation? Now, I know a lot of you are going to sit here and say, what's the chances? Well, what's going to help you sleep better? Thinking that he just decided to disrespect you and talk to you like a child because you're that important that someone has to come up with the strategy to make sure they talk to you and demean you like a child? Or the fact that maybe a higher power is working through this person who may already admire you and they want to push you out of your comfort zone because they know you could be doing so much better. And if you don't get out your comfort zone and do better, you might end up just like them. When you're losing a job and losing relationships, I want you to always remember one extremely important thing. You are irreplaceable. You are irreplaceable, okay? I know you all heard that Beyonce song. I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, they'll be here in a minute. Don't you ever for a second get to thinking you're irreplaceable. Boo. You are irreplaceable. You see, the fact that I can get out of here and you can have another individual here in a minute doesn't make that person me. It just fills my spot. Do you remember when I talked about when you remove something from a particular area or section or situation, the space that's there, and you can choose to have space or you can choose to replace it? Okay? I'm irreplaceable, but you're just filling that spot. A couch, in actuality, you won't be putting a duplicate of that couch in there unless you went and bought the exact same one. But if you're putting a new couch in, you're kind of just filling that position. You need a couch in the living room, you're just filling that position, right? So whenever you're leaving a job, losing a job, leaving a relationship, losing a relationship, don't ever let anyone tell you or make you believe that they are replacing you or that they ever could. All they are doing is filling the position. Ladies and gentlemen, drop your comments below, like and subscribe for more, of course. I'm grateful for you all. I'm grateful that everyone who's viewing this woke up today. And if you want to leave me a comment directly, just go to cypcomments@gmail.com. Again, that's cypcomments with an S at gmail.com. I'm Mark Akins, Mr. Challenger Perception, and this was Something for Your Sundays.